Huskies rolled into Sackville knowing they had to improve for Game 2. The challenges were to play 4 quarters of football and to decrease penalties. The Huskies hit both marks, amassing 558 yards on offense and scoring points in all 4 quarters and reducing the penalty yardage to 91 from 167. Special teams would establish themselves early and often, with Mark Beswick returning the opening kickoff back 32 yards. The special teams unit would return 4 kickoffs for a total of 142 yards, including an entertaining one on which Mark Beswick and Tyrone Rue would team up to return a wind-assisted kickoff out of the end zone for 44 yards. As with Game 1, the offense came out with guns blazing, with the Huskies scoring points on all of their first 6 possessions. The offensive line unit and fullback Tyler Schuessler opened up big holes for the running backs all day long. Jacques Lambala would gain 251 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground in only 2.5 quarters, and Alistair Blair would gain 75 yards on 8 carries. The air attack was grounded a bit in this game as very unpredictable wind gusts and varying rain conditions made passing a challenge. As a result, the Huskies ran the ball 47 times and went to the air just 13 times. That didn't stop Eric Glavich from throwing 7 for 12 for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, after a quick adjustment, Mount Allison was held to only 256 total yards of offense for the game. The Mounties would score on their first 2 drives and then be held scoreless for the rest of the game. The defense faced a challenge with the 2 defensive leaders, Tim St. Pierre and Clayton Chirka, out of the lineup, but they rose to the occasion. Salim Borhat led the tackles list with 6 solo and 1 assisted tackle and a forced fumble, while Reed Anderson was next with 5 solo and 1 assisted tackles, with one of those being a tackle for a loss. Matt LeMay would recover 2 fumbles on the day. Al Birthright snagged an interception that he would run back for 31 yards, and the resulting drive would lead to a Jacques Lambala touchdown. The scoring began on the opening drive with Jacques Lambala plunging a 1-yard run into the end zone at 5:51 of the first quarter to put the Huskies up 7-0. At 8:48 of the first quarter, Jacques Lambala raced 57 yards into the end zone on the first and only play of that drive to make the score 14-7 in favor of SMU. Jacques Lambala would score again at 2:31 of the second quarter on a 12-yard run that capped a 9-play, 78-yard drive to make the score 21-14. Justin Pilardi would convert all touchdowns on the day, and the next score would also come from his footwork with a 22-yard field goal at 7:03 of the second quarter to make the score 24-14. Darcy Brown would score at 11:53 of the second quarter on a 19-yard pass from Eric Glavich to bring the score to 31-14 for SMU. Darcy Brown would score again less than 2 minutes later on a 22-yard pass from Eric Glavich to extend SMU's lead to 38-14. Mount Allison would concede a 2-point safety shortly afterward, giving St. Mary's a 40-14 lead at the half. In the second half, Jacques Lambala scored one more time on a 67-yard run at 5:17 of the third quarter to bring the score to 47-14. The run would be his longest CIS rush, his longest CIS touchdown rush, and the touchdown would double his previous high of 2 touchdown rushes in a game. At 10:01 of the third quarter, Alistair Blair would score a touchdown on a 36-yard run to make the score 54-14. The fourth quarter showed a glimpse of the future for St. Mary's in the running department. John Shreve averaged an even 10 yards per carry, earning 60 yards in just 6 rushes, while Craig Legier took it into the end zone from 11 yards out to score his first CIS touchdown on his very first CIS rush and give the Huskies a final score of 61-14. For the second week in a row, Jacques Lambala received the Player of the Game nod, was selected as a St. Mary's Athlete of the Week and AUS Offensive Player of the Week. For the weekly awards, Billy D. Johnson was awarded the Bat for Hit of the Week for the hit in his sack that forced a fumble. The Practice Player of the Week was receiver Mike Krajewski. The offensive line collectively was presented with the Hard Hat, recognizing their hard work in the game, going above and beyond. For his outstanding play on defense and stepping into a leadership role, defensive back Salim Borhat was presented with the Chain for the Team Player Award, representing the spirit of teamwork. Salim Borhat was also selected as a St. Mary's Athlete of the Week for this game. The Sou'wester was awarded to defensive back Mike Jack for his physical play on special teams. The Huskies' next game is the home opener and homecoming game, hosting the Concordia Stingers in the first week of interlock play on September 22nd at 2 p.m. in Husky Stadium.
Well, the game was good. We played out really hard. We knew what we had to do from last week. Playing next last week, we figured that we never played the whole 60 minutes. The first half was great, but we have to understand that it's not only half of football, it's a full game of football. So we came out this week playing Mount A, and the game never started off too good. We got 2 touchdowns right away, but they countered back with another 2. After that, we found out that we had to straighten things up actually and get tougher out there. So we turned it on and we showed them what we got, and by the end of the game we won 61-14. Defense played great. We know we have a solid defense. As long as everyone comes together and we all play hard.
Tyler Schussler, fullback for St. Mary's. Just went down to Mount Allison, 2-0, a lot better than last season, 0-2. It was a big win, went down there in the rain, ran the ball, and played a tougher game than they did.
Obviously, we had a really good effort out there. Going to a meant a lot. It was kind of a statement we're trying to send around the league, as well as in our conference. And against stressing out the offensive line and all the way from fullback Tyler Schussler and as well as the receivers did a tremendous job blocking down the field, which allowed me to, to gain some positive yardage. And the other running backs also did a good job on Sackville. John Shreve and Craig Leger scored in his first carry. So I think as an offensive unit, it was great. It was a good effort. We worked hard in practice, and it was good that it transpired on the field. And yeah, hopefully we'll come up that high pretty quickly and get ready for Concordia, which is a big game for homecoming next week.
Well, a great game on the weekend. Obviously, weather was a huge factor for both teams. We prepared for one team going in, found another team on the game field, and I think we adjusted as a staff. Did a pretty good job during the game and at halftime. The players picked the adjustments up, and we went forth. Ultimately, we did give up 2 scores, and we had a few mental breakdowns and physical breakdowns, which gives us a great week to work on those things. So 2 down, Concordia up. I thought Mount A did a great job. They adjusted as well, and Gary Ross and Hughes, a dynamite combination. They're fun to watch and they're very hard to stop. So huge kudos to them. They're going to have a great year, and we're moving on to Concordia now, and hopefully we can contain and continue this momentum.
All right, I guess the biggest thing today was we really had the opportunity to showcase our run game. Kudos to the offensive line and especially Tyler Schussler for all the work of freeing up Jacques Lombala for obviously his biggest game of his career, and Alistair Blair contributions, and John Shreve, and nice to see Craig Leger get his first touchdown of his career. Defensively, once we got things rolling, just completely shut the door on them, I felt, and it was pretty exciting to watch the guys fly around. And we had a lot of guys playing this game and got some good experience for a lot of people. Special teams, again, solid, made some good plays when we needed to, and overall I think it's a real good start to be 2-0 at this point.